What do you consider a superstar in sports? Is it a transcendent figure like Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Lionel Messi, Serena Williams? An icon. I could ask a random person down the street and they would know who Michael Jordan is, even if they've never played the sport or watched the sport. Now take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder, recently named MVP of the NBA. He's been dominant. The past 3 seasons, he's averaged more than 30 points a game while shooting over 50% from the field. He's a dog. And please stop calling him a free throw merchant. He's an elite, efficient scorer. Now, if I did that same experiment and asked a random person down the street, do you know who SGA is? Most likely they would not, but it doesn't remove the fact that he's a superstar in the NBA. Now imagine this, you're a premier receiver at your position, you've been an all-star the past 3 seasons, was the highest paid non-quarterback, and delivered on that investment by catching for over 1,000-yard receiving and led the league in touchdown. Would you consider that player a superstar? Meet veteran CFL player Eugene or Geno Lewis of the Edmonton Elks and now free agent, and his general manager Ed Hervey, who ranted about re-signing the All-CFL player and decided that, hey, why not let the market dictate its value?
The strategy that I prefer to take in this instance is to allow the market to to show what is true value is. And if someone's willing to pay him 300, great. If it goes down within a range that makes sense and Edmonton is a place that he wants to be, then we can have a conversation and try to see what that looks like. But I can tell you unequivocally, like, I'm not paying 300.
Geno made $320,000 this past season. Again, I know some of you fellers are gonna come out, that's not a lot of money, CFL, they're not making any money. Listen, that is still a lot of chunk of change. Still big time money, like 300,000, like I would take that. And the money's only gonna get better. The CFL cap has went up a little bit, so these players are getting the money. Watch what these quarterbacks are making, over 600,000. So our league is growing. Just give us some time. Anyways, Ed Hervey's old contingent is, I am not going to pay him over 300,000. But listen, who said you had to pay him that price? Forget even having to pay him that price. Don't you want him back on your team? That should be the big question. For you to make the market and it dictating, and if it's too high, we don't want him, and if it's too low, we're still not re-signing him. He first must want to play with Edmonton, and then we're going to have a conversation on whether we want him. What kind of plan is that? Sounds nothing like Sean McVay when he welcomed superstar Davante Adams with open arms. He was excited. Instead of having to game plan against him, now he can have him a part of his game plan.
Glad to be able to have Davante Adams. He's got a lot of respect. He's earned it with the way that he works over the course of his career. But it's always good to be able to see some of the cool guys have put on tape. All right, looking forward to being able to see you guys partner up with Tay. Being able to win ISO, sideline awareness, that, yes, Phil was right giving up for Tay on that play. All right, we're not done yet. We got a couple more. One of the things that guys have seen about Davante, you can tell he was a hooper, can get parallel, can work edges on people. These are the things that you love to be able to see, all right? Isolation fades. This is going to make us better collectively on both sides. All right, being able to add a great player like Davante Adams, and he's got the ability to be able to finish and make plays. Very excited to add him, more importantly because of the person that he is, but he is also a total G on the field. Give it up for Davante Adams.
You could see him, he was joyful, he was excited. Nothing to add. Asking a player for a discount is unheard of. Asking a top player to take less money, that's never been done. Wait a second. Didn't Mike Evans take a hometown discount to stay with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Yeah, he did do that. Why would he do that? Could have gotten more money in the open market? No, it was more than money. Loyalty was important to him. That was the only team he's ever played for, and he wanted to stay home. Didn't want to uproot his family and was comfortable within that system. To make matters worse, Ed has never spoken to Geno. I mean, ever. How insane is that? You have a top player, a receiver that's had an amazing season this past year. You now have him on your team because you weren't the one that paid Geno as you inherited the team late last season. A pressing need of yours should have been to re-sign him, having such an excellent player.
So I think Geno's an excellent receiver.
About the only positive you said in your initial rant. And now you don't want to re-sign him to pair him with dynamic, budding star Trey 4, QB, Lamar Jackson-esque. They've had a good season together. They're very productive, getting comfortable with each other. And you didn't want to run that back and being successful and selling to Geno that, man, I can see us being great next season. No, in your mind, I'm not even going to speak to him because that is going to be disrespectful. I don't want to tarnish our relationship. But this entire rant fiasco didn't. So much so that it caught Gene Lewis off guard, and rightfully so.
I never talked to Ed. I've never talked to Ed to this day, since free agency, nothing like that. So when he came out with the article and was saying everything he was saying, this is what I have to get people to understand. Like, I'm a superstar in this league. I'm not a regular player. I'm not no just rookie or nothing like that. So, think about it. This was the NFL, and you're trying to talk to Jamar Chase or something like this, and you don't have a conversation with him. That's not smart.
Needless to say, Geno did not re-sign with the Elks. In fact, he signed with the Ottawa Red Blacks. And get this, for a discount, he signed for a whopping $223,000. $97,000 less than he made in 24. Why was that? Comfort, just like Mike Evans. Ottawa is closer to Philly, so his mom from Philly will now be able to drive to Ottawa and watch him play. More importantly, Ottawa was able to sell him the dream. Their general manager, Sean Burke, was excited to have Geno, excited to have him in his system and being able to implement him. Reminds me of the excitement that Sean McVay had with Davante Adams. For Ed Hervey, that kind of excitement and expressing it to your players, it's not something that he's used to, despite being a GM for a minute now. Ed Hervey then goes on a rampage in free agency, signing players left and right, boom, boom, boom. I'm sure the Elks will go above the salary cap end of 2025. No doubt. Robbie Smith, a guy he acquired, is now the highest paid defensive lineman. Tyrell Ford, Trey Ford's brother, again, Lamar Jackson-esque, is now the highest paid defensive back. Clearly he has no problem in paying guys what they're worth, but to Geno, that notion was just outlandish. I can't disrespect him. I can't pay him what he's worth. And even if he was below the market, even at that, we'd have to see if he'd want to be in Edmonton. Then we'd have a conversation. Like, it's a lot of semantics. You did not want him. Finally, you decided to be truthful after the fact. You know what we call those people? Front runners. That's what Ed Hervey is. He front running. Like, after the fact, now he's comfortable. Hey, Geno was never in our plans. Never planning on re-signing him. Ottawa really wanted him. Clearly we wanted to go in a different direction. All of these sentiments that you could have easily have said before the fact. But no, you chose to cloud chase. Probably you wanted more press, more buzz around Edmonton for whatever reason. I don't understand, but this whole spectacle could have been prevented. That's why Gino said, I'm a superstar player. I'm not a rookie. The least you could have done is pick up the phone. Hey, it's Ed, Gino. I hope you're doing good, but we're not looking to resign you. We're going on a completely different direction. I'm about to go on a rampage in free agency and sign a bunch of guys, make them the highest paid player in their position. You're just not one of them. Or he could have picked up the phone and said, hey Gino, looking to have you back, but not at that price tag. Could we work out a team-friendly deal that works for the both of us? And we really want you back. You and Trey 4 gonna be amazing out there on the field. You mean to tell me that he couldn't have done that? Come on, like I said, he's been a GM. It's not his first go around at it. He wanted a spectacle, he wanted a show. And now Gino's gonna provide him a show of his own when he returns to Edmonton in week 5. Get ready. T.O. used to say, get your popcorn ready, because it's going to be a good one. Gino's gonna go for $125 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the W. Ottawa 32, Edmonton 29. Book it.